maximize your tax refund to enable you keep more of your money for other investments. And so in this video, I'll be providing you with several tips that you can implement today to maximize your tax refund. According to The Sun, almost 6 million workers receive an average of £661 in tax refund in 2023. If this is your first time here, my name is Amma, a chartered accountant and a tax professional from AB&Co Accounting and Tax Services. On this channel, we cover topics around legal ways you can use to reduce your tax, how to manage your finances in a way that will enable you keep more of your hard-earned money in your pocket, and accounting issues in general. Now let's move quickly to the first tip. The first tip is keeping accurate records. Keeping accurate records will enable you or your accountant to not miss anything of your self-assessment and or your year-end account. Including all allowable expenses reduces the amount of tax. If you are an employee, on the other hand, keeping accurate records will allow you to claim all deductions relating to your job. So it will lead you to claim all job-related expenses, such as professional fees, such as uniform costs, such as use of home as an office expense, and many more. And because you have accurate records, you will not miss anything. You will claim all. What usually happens is, if you are an employee, your tax is deducted at source. So you will pay a full tax on your taxable income. Then after the tax year, because you have already paid tax on your full taxable income, if you go on to claim additional allowable expenses relating to your job, as previously explained, these expenses will reduce your taxable income. And because of that, tax that you pay will reduce. And because you would have already paid tax on your full taxable income before these deductions, it will generate a tax refund. Let's consider an example. Assuming your annual gross earning is £35,000. On this amount, you will pay tax of £4,486 without any deductions. If after the tax year, you go on to claim any job-related expenses, such as £400 of professional fees, £120 of uniform cost, £700 of use of home as an office expenses cost, and £150 for travel and subsistence cost. If you claim this after the tax year, either through self-assessment or through the online facility, this will reduce your taxable income to £4,212. And because you would have already paid tax of £4,486, this would generate a tax refund of £274. That's a tax refund. The higher your job-related expenses that you claim, the higher your tax refund. And this is the reason why you need to keep accurate records. This is the first tip. If you have enjoyed the video so far, please subscribe to our channel for more videos such as this. And remember to hit the like button to send us a signal that we are providing value. Now let's move to the next tip. The next tip is with the use of tax-efficient investment. The government wants to encourage investments in small unquoted businesses. And so, as a way of rewarding you for investing in such businesses, the government gives you an incentive in the form of a tax relief for investing in such businesses. Tax-efficient schemes you can use for such investments is called venture capital schemes. There are 3 venture capital schemes around, and these are EIS, SEIS, and VCT schemes. If you invest in SEIS scheme, you will get 50% income tax relief on the amount invested. If you invest in EIS scheme, you will get 30% income tax relief on the amount you invested. If you invest in VCT scheme, you will get 30% of the amount you have invested. As an example, assuming you are investing £1,000 in each of these schemes. For SEIS scheme, you are saving £500 of tax. For EIS and VCT scheme, you will be saving £300 of tax. This amount will boost your tax refund because it's going to reduce the amount of tax you would have paid already in the tax year. But remember, these schemes are highly risky, and so it's advisable you seek professional advice before investing in such schemes. You can claim these tax relief through your tax return for each tax year you invest. Remember to request for your investment certificate, which is what you will need to complete your self-assessment. The next tip is ensure you claim all allowable expenses, whether you are self-employed, whether you are employee, whether you have a limited company. You need to claim all allowable expenses, such as professional fees, such as claiming for equipment, such as use of home as an office expense, such as travel expenses, such as car expenses, and many more. We have a video which I'll link up above and also in the description that provides a detailed information for each of these expenses, how you can claim them, the criteria you need to meet before you can claim these expenses. So claiming all these expenses will reduce your profit for the year if you're self-employed. And what it's doing is any of these costs that you are claiming is giving you tax back in the form of a tax refund, but you don't see it physically because it's going to reduce your profit, leading to a reduction in tax. So claim all allowable legal expenses to reduce your profit if you are self-employed, to reduce your taxable income if you are an employee, leading to a reduction in tax. That is another way to maximize your tax refund. Now let's move to the next tip. But before we do, if you have found any value so far, remember to subscribe to our channel. The next tip is the use of marriage allowance. If you and your spouse or civil partner are both basic rate taxpayer and one of you has an income below the personal allowance, the one with an income below the personal allowance can transfer part of their personal allowance to the other spouse. And in fact, they can transfer 10% of their personal allowance to the other spouse to use. The spouse with the highest income can claim 20% relief on the amount that was transferred from the other spouse. This increases your tax refund. Again, you can claim for the current year and previous 4 tax years. If you miss previous 4 tax years, you can go back and claim the marriage allowance. You can claim the marriage allowance using the HMRC online facility, or you can call them to claim the marriage allowance. You can claim for the current tax year and previous 4 tax years. The maximum tax relief you can claim on this marriage allowance for the current tax year is £252. And so if you go back 4 previous tax years and claim all, look at how much you are getting back as tax refund. Use this method to maximize your tax refund. The next tip you can use to maximize your tax refund is with the use of tax efficient account. The first tax efficient account is ISAs. You can invest up to £20,000 per tax year in an ISA. An ISA is a tax wrapper, which basically means any income or gain generated within an ISA is tax-free. Because you don't pay any tax on any gain or income received within an ISA, it's a form of a tax refund for you. This is because you are saving tax. You are not paying tax. So it's a form of a tax refund for you. That is the first tax efficient account that you can have. Maximize your ISA. If you are married, you and your spouse are entitled to $20,000 each per tax year. Maximize your tax refund with this tax efficient account. The next tax efficient account you can use is with the use of pensions. Any amount you invest into your pension will give you a tax relief. If you are a higher rate taxpayer, you get up to 40% tax relief on your pension contributed. If you are an additional rate taxpayer, you get a maximum of 45% of pension contributions made in the tax year. This is about the highest tax efficient schemes you can use to maximize your tax refund. The next tax tip you can use is with the use of family or spousal tax planning methods. If in a household, one of you is a basic rate taxpayer and another is a higher or additional rate taxpayer, the use of spousal or family tax planning becomes necessary here. If you own any shares, if you own any assets jointly with your spouse, it's worth looking at transferring a higher proportion to the spouse who is within the basic rate tax band. This is because that spouse will pay tax at 20% instead of 40% or 45%. And so in a household, transferring a larger share in any of these assets transfers the income or gain to such person, and then they will pay tax at a lower rate compared to paying tax at a higher rate. And that maximizes your tax refund in the form of reduction in tax. Make use of family or spousal tax planning to help you reduce your tax as a household, maximizing a tax refund. Some of the assets may include rental properties, shares, and many more. The next tax tip is gift aid donation. If you like giving to good causes, then ensure that you are giving a charity that is recognized under gift aid scheme. You need to make a declaration that you are making any charitable donation under gift aid scheme. With that, you will get a tax relief on any amount you contribute into a recognized charity in the UK. Doing this will maximize your tax refund because any charitable donation you make through gift aid, you are able to claim the tax relief through your self-assessment or through your tax code. How do you get the tax relief? Any amount you contribute under gift aid donation extends your tax bands. What does that mean? If you contribute £800 per tax year to a recognized charity under gift aid, this amount will be grossed up. Grossing up means you will get a tax relief that will increase your £800 per tax year up to £1,000. The £1,000 will be added to your tax bands. So for example, the basic rate tax band currently is 37,700. The £1,000 will be added to 37,700 to make it 38,700. The higher rate band is currently £125,140. This will be extended by adding the £1,000 to it to make it £126,140. What does this do for you? Instead of paying 20% tax on the 37,700, you are now going to pay more tax within the basic rate band. And the same thing applies to the higher rate band. So because the gift aid donation extends your band, you tend to pay more tax in the lowest rate of tax instead of the higher rate of tax. And that is how you save tax. And that is how you maximize your tax refund. Because we know tax saving is such an important topic, we have prepared a video which is here. Watch this video that will give you tips on how to reduce your tax to help you keep more of your hard-earned money in your pocket. I hope you have found this video useful. Please hit on the like button to send us a signal and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching.